Again, RFPs, they continue to say, oh, well, they do the work, pay the people. If they wanted these people to be paid, one, they'll pay them like they do everybody else. They don't wait on us.
Hi, you guys. Welcome back. So in case you couldn't tell, today we're going to be talking about RFPs and how important they are as it relates to new businesses coming into the village and completing work and getting contracted and all that stuff like that. So as we can see, Trustee Brittany Norwood is in a rage, as she should be, because she just wants to know, why are there no RFPs going on? Even though there is continuous work being done in the village, that means companies are being contracted to come out and complete work. So we're going to talk about RFPs and why they're important. But first, let's go back in time a little bit and listen to Trustee Tiffany Henyard and see how she feels about the RFP process.
Next thing on the agenda is item E, approval of Melody Fitness massage therapy lease. Trustee Steve.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I want to make a motion to approve the Melody Fitness massage therapy lease.
Been motioned and seconded to approve the Melody Fitness massage therapy lease. Any discussion?
Yes. Again, this is another way to generate revenue. We want to create a whole health experience when you come to Melody Fitness.
Any further discussion?
Yes. As you guys know, I asked about this at the last board meeting. I am going to approve this. They will get my vote for it, but I don't appreciate it when we don't put things out for bid so other people in the community can benefit from the things we offer. I am going to go with it though, Trustee Steve.
So this is a business proposal that Trustee Steve put up for the board for approval. And, Tiffany went ahead and agreed with it. But of course, she had to have her usual last word, put her little attitude and give her little disapproving look, of course. But as we can see, she mentioned that it wasn't put up for bid, and that has to do with the RFP process. So that's just one example of Tiffany, making sure everyone stays in line and goes by the rules. Let's listen to another example of her bringing up the RFP process.
They're coming to us rather than just going door to door and trying to force the resident into buying something they may not want. They're telling us that they will send a letter out to every one of the residents saying, if you want to buy this, you buy it. If you don't, you don't.
So what makes this any different, Mr. Urban? It's just coming across the board instead of them door knocking, trying to advocate for business.
They're looking for the partnership that we are saying that this is a reputable company.
Okay, so if that's the case, everybody know how I am up here. Why don't you have more than one company? You only have one company advocating for this.
There's not a lot of companies out there like this.
Okay, well, again, either have 3 proposals, have 3 different people.
But we're not paying for anything. It's up to the residents.
Exactly. The key word you just said is up to the residents. So again, I think it should go to the residents to decide if they want us as a board to vote this in our community.
Okay.
So yes, as we can see, as a trustee, Tiffany Henyard was not shy about letting people know, hey, let's open this up for a bid. Let's let the residents decide. Let's make it fair. Let's bring in other companies instead of just deciding on one company. Now, why has that changed for her as a mayor? Many people want to know, right? Some people are speculating because she's bringing in the businesses that she wants. And that way she can skim a little bit out the top, get a little bit on the side. Those are all accusations. But that seems to be the consensus of what's going on and why Tiffany just goes out and does what she wants to do as far as the contractors she hires, the businesses she brings in, and with not bringing it before the board first. So let's go ahead and get back a little bit up to date and let's listen a little bit more to Trustee Brittany Norwood asking Mayor Tiffany about the RFPs. Let's listen.
Then secondly, if we want them to get paid, let's be transparent. We all here. What's the problem with RFPs? We've been asking for RFPs since the start. Bring the people up here and let them bid for the jobs so we know what work is being done and how much we're paying for the work. Again, we continue to be silent. You sit up here and say what we can and cannot say. The fact of the matter is we all just want the paperwork. We don't want to sit here and be belittled by the staff with the things that you done prepped them to say before the meet. We're really sick of that. All we really want is the receipt. Send it to us. Put it on the website. We don't even have to keep discussing it. Put it on the website so every resident in here can see the receipts. America, ask this lady and the administration for receipts. Provide them to us. And stop expecting us to vote on things that we cannot see. Nobody, no smart person with intelligence vote on something that they cannot see, like the blind leading the blind. That's what will not happen. Again, provide us with the receipts, provide us with the RFPs, and let's pay the people that we owe first before continuously mismanaging the money and making bills. We're not paying the lights, but they paying for first class flights. Make it make sense. Thank you. I don't have a problem with paying or getting the windows and roofs done. I think the main question is how much money is there left? You originally said that it was going to be $2,500. Then I remember on the warrant list, we seen something that said $12,000 for a roof. Then I know that you said you corrected it and you made it $6,000. So if we can, in regards to the ARPA money for the windows and roofs, I want to revisit it. I'm just wondering if you can submit and it's public information, I'm sure, in regards to how much money we have left, the plan for the windows and roofs. How many people do we have left in regards to the completions? How much money do we have left? And can other residents still get the money? Will we have money left after that? If you could just put that like on a website or something for the windows and roof in regards to how much ARPA money is left. If we're gonna do RFPs, I guess that's a big question too. Normally we do RFPs so we know who the vendors are, how we're choosing the vendors. They normally come in front of the board and then we make a decision as a board to move forward with these vendors.
So you guys, when we listen to Trustee Brittany Norwood sit here basically begging the mayor, and this was back in 2022, okay? She's begging her for receipts. She's begging her for information on how much money is left for the windows and roof grant that Tiffany, was always ranting and raving about, that she's going to give the seniors and the veterans new roofs and windows. But she's not giving the trustees the information on how much of that money is left, how many people have already been approved for the program, how many people can be approved now still for the program. She's not giving them any of that type of information. All right, now let's go ahead back to Trustee Tiffany Henyard, because as a trustee, Tiffany was the same way she is as a mayor, okay? The only difference is she actually did things for the residents. She actually did things for the residents because she needed to build her base. She needed their trust. She wanted to make them feel that they actually need her and that she was there for them, advocating for them 24/7. And how did she do that? She did that by being consistent. She did that by not letting the old mayor slide, okay? Just like the trustees are trying to hold her accountable, she always used to hold everyone else accountable, and she had no problem speaking up, a lot of times in a very disrespectful manner, I would say. Let's go ahead and watch this other clip about her confronting the then police chief Collins, and it also has to do with the RFP process.
Next item on the agenda is D, awarding of the towing contract that was presented by Chief Collins last committee of the whole. There was discussion, an RFP went out. Chief Collins is looking for direction from the board as to how they would like to proceed so that we can enter into an agreement with either 1, 2, or 3 of the contractors. So we're looking for direction tonight.
I'd like to make a motion to approve W&W Towing.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve WW Towing. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to know who the chief would recommend for the towing contract based upon his research and his interviewing.
So you guys, actions speak louder than words. And I wanted to replay some of these clips, and just so I can kind of explain to you what I saw in them. So when trustee here, Robert Hunt, who is actually one of Tiffany's loyal supporters, he works with her over in Thornton Township. As we can see, he was with her back in the day. But as you can see, as he's saying that, he's kind of looking to the side for her approval, and she's kind of like, yeah, we're about to get him. Okay, so they got a little something going on behind the scenes that they discussed, and I'm assuming it has to be with a particular tow company that they want to go with. So they're gonna make the argument to go against whatever the chief wants to go with. Let's go ahead and watch.
At the last board meeting, I recommended that Airline Towing would be our single tow agency for the village. However, there did seem to be a general consensus that the board would vote to have a rotating basis for the tows. So I guess the question would be, would it be between 2 or 3 of the companies that submitted their RFPs?
I got a question. So Chief, why did you pick airline only?
We are already presently in an agreement with them verbally. We have been doing business with them already. and that we haven't experienced any major problems with this tow agency. So it's basically, we already have them, let's continue to do business with them.
Okay, but you know that they was given that contract without a bid, without going out for bid. So they didn't even compete with anyone, it was just given to them.
I'm not aware of a contract with them. We were basically under a verbal agreement since the contract expired with the last tow company.
Okay, so we was under that. Don't you think they had the advantage to basically do better than what they're doing now? Because they had their foot in the door compared to everybody else that's bidding on it now.
I don't believe that would be an advantage. If you had to say it was an advantage, is that we have experience with them and they haven't done any bad business with us so far.
So what do you like about them?
That when we call them, they show up. And
okay.
The reason
I remember when you stated about everyone else, and I'm just going back from the tape, you stated everybody was equal. Can you explain? You said everyone was equal. How was everyone equal?
not so much as equal. I said no one had a distinct advantage over the other. And when it came down to the one tow agency, W&W, when we talked about the big wreckers, they didn't have any of the large tow trucks in case we needed it for semis, for accidents or rollovers, but they would call someone else. So that's not an
I look in their package, since you brought that up, it said that they're purchasing one.
They don't currently have it.
Right, but it's in the package. I'm just going off what you said. My other question is, did you check with the ICC?
No, I did not.
Okay, we had that problem last time I asked you that question.
It's not a problem. That's not his job.
It is his job. Thank you, Trustee Pearson. If he gonna come before the board and suggest that we pick a company, his job is to make sure he's giving us the right information. So that's why I'm asking my questions. So the ICC is what you would check to make sure that everybody's up to date with everything. Did you know that airline licenses was revoked?
No.
Okay, but they currently are a tow company, right?
I'm assuming that their license is currently valid at this point.
As of April 8th. I called, I checked, but that's not my job to do. I just try to check based off of, I knew it was coming up. But when I asked you the question, you don't have the answers for me. So it was revoked. I have it right here. And then also, did you guys know, meaning entire board and resident, that this company is for sale? It is right here.
That has no bearing on the police department if it's for sale or not.
No. If we find a vote on a tow company, that company is up for sale. Did you know that? So why would we
Then that's a matter, trustee, then that's a matter for the board.
Right, I know, but I'm saying it to you because you're supplying us with information, you're supplying us with who we should pick, and I'm asking you, did you check more into this company to make sure that we're voting the right way to protect the residents?
Trustee, what's the question?
My question was, did you check into the company?
I laid out what I did as far as my checks into the company.
Okay,
I visited each company and had a conversation with every owner.
Okay, well, that was my stuff, and all that's for the record, Mary Kay.
So as we can see, she had all her little documentation ready, her little arguments, little rebuttals, because she knew what towing company she wanted to go with. So she did her research. So I'll give her that. She did do her research and she made some good points. If they're going to be bringing companies before the board for approval, they should be doing their research. And that is what the trustees are trying to get Mayor Tiffany Henyard, right, to understand. Like, hey, we need the RFPs. We need these companies brought before the board so they can be vetted through. Tiffany's not even bringing the companies before the board. She's just going ahead, hiring people, and then coming back and asking the trustees to pay for them. Could you imagine what Mayor Tiffany Henyard would do if she had Trustee Tiffany Henyard in her board meetings, questioning and being on everyone as much as she was? Well, I put together a little compilation to kind of give us an idea of what that would look like. Enjoy.
So my question to you will be, we have the information now for you. So we give you the information now. Would you vote to get the people's windows and roofs done? Anybody coming before this board, people should be prepared. You should have all that information for us so that we know what we're voting on and it's legit. Trying to educate you on how it really goes. So I'm saying that make sure it's accurate and correct so that I'm giving the right vote per se. All I'm asking is, can we get past this now to pay the vendors so that they can get their windows and their roof done. As always, I think that we should either have a public hearing, allow the residents to decide whether they want this or not. I don't think this is our choice as a board. I think the residents should decide if they want that in their home, because we will not be the people calling for repair. It will be the resident. But I'm asking you for your vote so that we can pay the vendors so they can continue the process. Credit card invoices. I've asked at the last board meeting, and I don't know if you guys recall, the mayor stated that we could put the credit card bills on the warrant list. It is not on here. I've asked, and I cannot approve bills and not know what I'm approving because I have nothing in front of me to say, the mayor could have went on a trip with the credit card. How would I know? Because the bill is not in front of me. So again, Mayor, what happened to you putting the credit card bills on the warrant list? All right, as relates to anything that happens here at the Village of Dolton, when we send out the warrant list to the Board of Trustees, it is 24/7 that you work as an elected official. The credit card bills. I would like to see itemized credit card bills on the warrant list moving forward for the record, because I cannot make good decisions based off of the information you're giving me without the credit card bills. I need that. As I stated in several meetings, call my phone. I work 24/7. My phone is never off. If a board member has a issue, a debate as relates to a warrant list up here. I know that, Mayor, but my question to you is, why isn't the credit card bills on the warrant list? If you get it late on time, you still have time to reach out to myself. As I stated in several meetings, call my phone. I work 24/7. Again, my cell number is 708-297-6859. You guys can reach out to me or reach out to Keith Freeman. I don't know your cell number by heart, but you can reach out to any of us and we will answer any questions that the board may have. Yes, I just want to itemize to know what's going on and how taxpayer dollars is being spent. Other than that, I am voting blindly, so is the entire board. So I would advise the board to look into that and understand what they're voting for, because we're just voting for stuff and not knowing what we're approving. You can call Keith Freeman. He is always available. And matter of fact, in our email, we stated, if anybody has questions over the weekend, we are all available to answer any questions that the board may have. What I don't like is we get at these board meetings and we grandstand on things that we could have got answers to before we got here. And then it looks like we're just debating and fighting amongst each other. I know that, Mayor, but my question to you is, why isn't the credit card bills on the warrant list? As you stated, it would be. I quit. All right, moving on. As you can see, nobody wants to do anything. I am not going to get any response from anybody else because they don't want to move forward.
So I think Mayor Tiffany Henyard versus Trustee Tiffany Henyard would be very interesting to really see in real life, right? The question is, who would win? Okay. I think it would get super dark. I really think they would both get each other to stoop to the lowest of the lows of the lows. And they would just push each other's button to see how far the other one would go. It would be a catastrophe, so to say. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Who do you think would win? Okay. Who do you think would actually get the last word? Because we know they both need to have the last word in some way, shape, or form. So touching back on the original topic of the video, and that is RFPs. And RFPs are important because if the village has large jobs to be completed, then they put out an RFP, which is a request for proposal. And that opens up the bidding process where multiple companies can then come in and put in presentations for their particular company and try to convince the board and the residents that they are the company to go for. All right, you guys, I hope I explained it right. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave it a like. And if you're new here, subscribe.
And that's what I represent, a positive outlook. No matter what the situation is, trustee house, you can't want to lead people and can't lead, man. You got to do better. I keep telling you, just because you wear a suit don't make you suitable. Stop. And all they do is bicker. They go back and forth with each other. They name call. They do all kinds of things. I don't have time for that. Lost every time. 4 or 5 times. The people do not like her, period. And that's why she keeping up all this mess. And right now, you're doing is keeping up confusion, keeping up mess. You got to grow, man. I've been in here all my life, 35 years, and I've been in the trenches. Y'all done saw me grow from a hectic trustee, talking mess, outrageous, to this humble, bright young lady that I am today. You guys ran on my ticket, especially Belcher. Ran on my ticket, ain't never won none in her life, lost every election. She won 4-5 times, well, ran 4-5 times. She only won with me.